This week I'm driving the 2022 Lincoln Corsair hybrid plug-in. The Lincoln Corsair is the smallest SUV available under the Lincoln brand. The Corsair is going to take the place of the MKC. This one's a hybrid plug-in, a little bit different approach from Lincoln. Most competitors, like the Germans, like to focus really on sport dynamics and fun to drive. This one is focused on fuel economy and comfort. Under the hood, we can find a hybrid powertrain. It's a 2.5 liter four-cylinder Atkinson, good for 266 horsepower, matched to a CVT transmission. We've got also two other choice of powertrain, the 2 liter EcoBoost and also the 2.3 EcoBoost. So plenty of choice powertrain-wise for the Corsair. All right, now I'm gonna test the acceleration. Obviously, we've got the hybrid powertrain. It's not like a performance powertrain. We'll see how it does. All right. It's not really quick off the line, you know. Best time you can do on paper, it's around 7.2 seconds, 0 to 100 kilometers. Obviously, we've got the hybrid powertrain. It's built for fuel economy. We've got also a CVT transmission, so you know it's not quick, it's not slow, but it's just okay, you know. On the road with the Corsair, it's easy to tell this small SUV, it's really meant to be comfortable and not like the typical luxury small SUV with more like a sporty approach, you know, more about the driving dynamics and you know, a tight handle and all that. It's truly a Lincoln. We've got an adaptive suspension. It's really comfortable on the road. Of course, you have to do some sacrifice on the handling, but I'm sure, you know, when you're looking to buy a Lincoln Corsair, that's not what you're looking for. Really smooth on the road, even if we have big wheels. It was pretty decent this week. We've got some big potholes here in Quebec. It's pretty rough right now, and it was pretty comfortable to drive this Lincoln Corsair. Exterior wise, from my point of view, it looks like a mini version of the Lincoln Aviator. Great look. I love the grille in the front. I really like also in the back that really long, you know, tail lights. It makes a big difference in that luxury segment, you know. It's different from all the other small SUV. I really like that. This one's got the optional wheels on it. It looks like a big fan, similar to the ones you can find also on the Navigator. I really like that pattern. From my point of view, it's really like the signature Lincoln look. Otherwise, you can notice it's a Lincoln Corsair PHEV by the logos on the side. The Corsair logo, it's in blue, so that's how you can tell it's a plug-in model. Stepping inside of this Lincoln Corsair, really luxurious. It looks like a mini Navigator inside. A lot of quality material, leather, wood, and all that. Otherwise, the metal console, it was kind of annoying for me because I'm 6'3". My knee was always touching that metal part where we can find all the knobs for the radio and also the climate control. This part of the dash, I could say, it was really annoying for me. It removed some joy of driving and comfort from my point of view. Otherwise, you know, a small screen for a luxury SUV, old generation of sync, but it's easy to use. Even all the buttons, everything, it's easy. Someone who's pretty new with the Lincoln products can find everything they want to do pretty easily with this system. One down point, there's no place to recharge my phone wirelessly. We can tell inside of this Corsair, it's like the old generation, not the latest generation of technology you can find at Ford and Lincoln. From my point of view, you know, especially when you're stepping inside of a luxury SUV like this one, and this one, it's over $17,000. These are the kind of option you have to expect to find inside, and it's not the case here. Otherwise, stepping in the rear seats, the room is decent. You have to do some sacrifice compared to the Ford Escape. I think because those seats are more comfortable, bigger, messaging seats and all that, they take a little bit more space. Speaking of those seats, there's tons of adjustment in the door. You can have a massage both the driver and on the passenger side. Once you find the magic formula for your body, they're pretty comfortable, but you know, tons of way to modify your seat, just like the Aviator and the Navigator. If we take a look at the trunk, pretty decent amount of space, really wide opening with that tailgate. We can see by the design of that tailgate, you know, that wide opening of the tailgate was a priority for this Corsair. Speaking of this hybrid plug-in, to recharge your battery, it's gonna take you about 10 hours and a half on 120 volt stage 1 charging port. If you get access to a stage 2 240 volt, it's gonna take you about 3 hours and a half. Normal time of charging on that side, you know, overnight if you have a normal outlet at home. I didn't have any issues this week. You can do a range around 40 kilometers with a full charge. I haven't seen those numbers this week. I was averaging between 27 to 32 kilometers, but you know, I'm in winter condition, winter tires, heating and all that stuff. Probably with some summer condition, you can easily you know, reach that 40 kilometers of range. One down point, you know, this hybrid system is not the latest technology. It's an old hybrid system, pretty much the same system we could find back in the day in the Ford Fusion PHEV. I wish we have a button to really lock the electric mode, similar to the one we can find inside of the Jeep Wrangler Unlimited 4xe. This hybrid system will really manage the way it's gonna use the battery and also the behavior, how you're driving, braking, regenerating your energy and all that. Obviously, there's different modes you can change. If you really want to push the fuel economy to maximum, you can use a converse mode. This is like the eco mode. One key feature about this mode is gonna disconnect the rear wheels of the all-wheel drive to get the maximum fuel economy. Once again, it depends how you behave with your throttle of the gas, but still, that's a big plus. There's also all kind of like funky modes on this. You've got normal mode, you've got deep snow, you've got slippery, and also you've got Excel. So Excel is kind of like the sport mode. The all-wheel drive is going to be always on. I'm not a big fan of these modes. You know, in the Navigator of my dad, it's pretty much all the same. I wish we could play a little bit more, you know, choosing if we wish to have the all-wheel drive, we wish to have you know, a more comfortable suspension and all that, without being too complicated, without being like a sport car, just having a little more control, especially with the hybrid system, with you know, pushing the maximum range and being locked fully in an electric mode will be a big plus for my point of view. On the towing side, you can tow up to 2,000 pounds with the hybrid plug-in system. You can go up to 3,000 pounds if you're choosing the 2.3 EcoBoost. Obviously, on that side, more power, a real transmission and all that. It's always better if you want to tow something. On the fuel economy side, this week I was averaging around 6.7 liters per 100 kilometers. This is pretty good. And if we try to maximize our time on our charge, so if we stay in that 30-40 kilometer range, I was averaging around 1.8 liters per 100 kilometers. This is pretty good, but once again, if we had a special button to lock it in the full electric mode like I had with the 4xe, these numbers will be 0 liters per 100 kilometers. So once again, it's an old technology. It's a good old technology. It's reliable and all that, but still, you know, I wish we could have something a little bit more, you know, under the hood of a Lincoln, not just the same powertrain we could find inside of an old Fusion. Price-wise, a Lincoln Corsair starts around $45,600 Canadian. Base hybrid plug-in Corsair will start with the Grand Touring package, so it's good for $58,100 Canadian, and the model I'm driving this week, it's good for $73,295. Pretty expensive. Obviously, the model I'm driving this week is fully loaded. It's got all the bells and whistles. I think you know, for the base price with the, you know, kind of like the top of the line packaging without putting all the option, the price, it's kind of good, you know, it's right there, but the model I'm driving, way too expensive. Overall, you know, if you're looking for a small SUV, comfortable, good fuel economy, the Lincoln Corsair is a good option for you. But if the luxury is not a priority and you're looking really for that small packaging with good fuel economy, I think a Ford Escape PHEV fully loaded will do the job from my point of view. I don't need all those fancy interior, all that fancy exterior. I think a Ford Escape with the titanium package, I think it makes the job done from my point of view. But obviously, if you want that look and luxury, maybe not fully loaded like this one, a base PHEV, it's kind of decent. But I really like that Lincoln approach. Great focus on the comfort and the fuel economy. It's not everyone who wish to have like a driving dynamics and a great handling and get that German engineering driving. You know, I think there's a lot of older gentlemen, older women I could think of. They would rather drive this Corsair than any small Mercedes-Benz or BMW. But, you know, let me know in the comments. Do you think it's worth it to spend $72,000, $73,000 for a Corsair plug-in hybrid? Or for you, the Ford Escape would be enough, especially with the titanium model? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And we're going to see each other on our next review.